right, back to it now. I mentioned this at the beginning, and I'll say it again. I'm going to get my next guest to weigh in on my theory here. And in fact, I saw one of my friends and regular guests in this program write about this. Why is Joe Biden not hitting Iran hard the way he should? Punishing that country. And how would you punish Iran? You'd nail their oil fields. Oh, but you can't do that not in an election year because the price of gasoline will go to $5 or $6 if you screw up the world supply of oil because we've screwed up our own. Yeah, you can't go after Iran the way you should. RT Trevino here runs Pecos Country Energy, privately owned oil and gas exploration and production company in Fort Worth, Texas. Good to have you back. RT, how are you?
I'm doing well, Steve. How are you?
I'm doing well. What do you think? Am I right or wrong about hitting Iran the way we're supposed to?
Oh, you know what? I couldn't disagree with you at all. I think the way that this administration has been very lackadaisical and lighthearted towards Iran has been pretty ridiculous, if you ask me. We really need to go in there and show them who America is.
Yeah. Oxy-P. Occidental Petroleum, Oxy-P, the CEO over there, says we're going to be facing oil shortages, energy shortages by the end of next year. Just in time to get through the election, of course, and the Democrats hope they can, drag the corpse of Joe Biden over the finish line. What do you see? Do you see energy problems in 25, or could they come sooner?
Hopefully they don't come at all, and hopefully by the end of 2025 we have a different administration that we now would have more productive and more friendly towards the oil and gas industry. But, Occidental's not the only one that's predicting an oil and gas shortage here by 2025. There are a number of experts that are predicting that we will see an oil and gas shortage by the end of 2025.
Well, now, that's weird, RT. That's weird because I keep hearing the administration tell me that more oil and gas is being produced in America than at any time in American history, which I believe to be true, by the way. Despite the best efforts of the Biden administration, private enterprise companies like yours and others continue to thrive on private land that they can't knock you off from, at least not yet. But if we're producing more oil and gas today than ever, why are we going to have this shortage?
It's due to the fact, and great question, Steve, that we are not drilling new wells at this time like we used to. We are still over 100 rigs shorter drilling today than we were a year and a half ago. And that means we are just not replenishing our supply. It's just a good old-fashioned economics 101, supply and demand.
And let me ask you something else here.
Back to Biden.
Yeah, let me ask you something else here. And I don't know the correct terms, so you have to work with me. I mean, I read so much about different things, but this is one of the things. Old oil wells in America that produce, 15, 20, 30 barrels a day maybe. Very slow producers that are old. They have a name for them. They're secondary wells of some sort. Well, there's a new rule being offered by the Biden administration that would basically get rid of all of those low-producing wells that are old, 20, 30, 40-year-old wells under the guise of, well, they're not safe. We have to protect the environment. Have you heard that?
There's always things like that. You have what's called, you're actually right. There's secondary wells. Those wells have probably already been producing for 10 to 15 years and got another 15 to 20 years left of life of producing oil. Also, you do have something called orphan wells, but those are wells that have been, basically just like the term says. And people don't understand that, especially here in Texas, Steve. Those type of wells help produce 50% of the production.
Exactly. That's exactly what I read. Those wells, those orphan wells, those old wells produce half of the energy that's produced in America, and the Biden administration's genius plan is to basically outlaw those in the name of climate change. Unbelievable.
Yes, and that's ridiculous.
Then,
what people don't understand is that there's second, you said it again correctly. You've got first tier wells. That's the big boys like the Oxys, the Exxons. And once they get to a certain point, there's another company out there that can afford to produce these wells at 500 barrels a day. Then there's a company out there that can afford to produce them at 50 barrels of oil a day. And these wells are almost like real estate. They're just like, old homes that you go back in, you rework, and the next thing you know, they come back online and they're producing for the American people again.
All right, so here we are. I just went to oilprice.com, one of my regular stops. RT Trevino here with me. Oil, whether it's West Texas Intermediate, Brent crude, Mervent crude, all below $80. West Texas Intermediate is at $73.79. I mean, it's low right now. What happens when it goes back to $100 or $150? Because it's going to, just a matter of time.
Well, even as a producer, I hope we don't see $150 just because of the impact that will make on our economy. But $100 oil here in the great state of Texas, we're at about $3 a gallon right now. We could easily see $4.50 at $100 oil.
Say that again.
That at $100 oil, we could easily see $4.50 at the
Oh, it'll be higher here. I can guarantee you that. It'll be higher in Michigan. In California, it'll be $8.50 a gallon at that point. But they're in pursuit of environmental utopia, along with all their sanctuary cities like San Francisco and Oakland. They're doing such a marvelous job there, RT. All right, so what can we do as consumers? Is there anything we can do, or we just sit here and get blown around by the winds of economic change?
The one thing I recommend for consumers to do is stock up unofficially. I mean, the storm's going to hit us we're going to hit this storm head on at some point. And when we do, we just need to be prepared. And so that's really what I can tell the American people. And, vote with your pocketbook in 2024, and maybe we can not have to have this happen in 2025.
Well, I hope you're right. RT Trevino, Pecos Country Energy. Thank you for being here as always, my friend.
Thank you, Steve. We'll talk to you soon.
Always appreciate it. There you have it. So gas and oil up. This year, maybe next year. Yeah, these secondary wells. This is something you can do some research on. I've done it. It's half of our production of oil in this country, and the do-gooders want to get rid of it. Of course they do. As we head toward a presidential election in November, one thing you can be sure of, 2024 is going to be a tumultuous year. How will your hard-earned savings fare during all of this? You already see the impacts of inflation at the pump. It's going to get worse, as we've heard. At the grocery store, because they're related. The dollar continues to lose buying power quicker than wages can increase. How are you protecting your savings? Consider diversifying with gold from Birch Gold Group. For decades, gold has been the choice of investors and central banks to hedge against inflation. Now you can own it in a tax-sheltered IRA with the help of Birch Gold. Just text Gruber to 989898, and Birch Gold will send you a free information kit on gold to help you convert an existing IRA or 401k into an IRA in gold. And the best part? You don't have to pay a penny out of pocket, not one. An A-plus rating with a Better Business Bureau. Thousands of satisfied customers. You can trust Birch Gold. Text Gruber to 989898 and claim your free information kit. Text Gruber to 989898. Secure your savings right now. All right? When I come back, we're talking about the future as well. Disease X. What is this whole scare tactic? Fear porn being pushed upon us by the World Health Organization, the United Nations, the World Economic Fund, and all of them. Oh, it's Disease X. Hi, we're going to destroy the world. I told you, the pandemic was an exercise. Something worse is on the horizon. We'll talk about it after the break.